Hey guys, I'm the Dimension Jumper, and today I'll be reviewing the new Super Mario Bros. Movie, which was released back on the 5th of April of this year, which is a collaboration between Nintendo and Illuminated Studios, and it stars Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, I believe. I think that's pronounced her name. Keegan Michael Key, I think that's pronounced his name. Charlie Day, and Jack Black, and Seth Rogen. And this is a really interesting movie because this is going to be I'm going to try and make this as non-spoilery as possible. But the main plot of this movie is that both Mario and Luigi are doing their normal plumbing business, and due to some unexpected commotions, they end up in the Mushroom Kingdom, or the world of the Mushroom Kingdom, and they get separated with Mario going to the Mushroom Kingdom uh, and Luigi going to Bowser's area world, or the Dark World, or the Drablands. I think it's one of those things, and it's up to Mario, Peach, and Toad, along with some of the characters like Donkey Kong, to basically save Luigi from Bowser, and that's the main sort of gist of the movie. It's not that complex of a story, unlike something, let's say, like The Last of Us. When you look at both either the game or the sequel, or the TV show, because this movie is really simple. It's basically like a lot of the Mario games that have been released since the release of the original, and this is a really fun movie because it got a lot of heart to it, and I do enjoy a lot of the moments that a lot of cool moments that are in the movie, um there's in the trailers you see a bit of a montage, and that does happen, and it's really interesting because it kind of copies the traditional Mario levels that you might play on either on the original Mario Bros. For the NES, or for the DS games, or whatever games you play, and yeah, things like that really make this game, no, not the game, makes this movie interesting because there's a lot of references to previous Mario games, because you've got references to Mario Galaxy, the original Mario game for the NES, even this is Odyssey, and even Mario Odyssey, and there's even a reference to the very first appearance of Mario, that being Jumpman, in which Mario was called Jumpman before he became Mario, and a lot of these references are really cool, and I do enjoy a lot of the interactions with the characters, like Mario and Peach. I think those are really quite interesting, and you can tell that the characters are really have a lot of chemistry together. And I do like Toad. He's quite cool. And when it comes to the actors playing these characters, I think they all do a really great time. They all do a really good job and have a fun time playing these characters. Like Chris Pratt. When I first heard that he was announced to play as Mario, I was like, that's a really weird choice to play Mario, because when you think Chris Pratt, you'll probably think Star-Lord, and this is going to probably just be like Star-Lord, but in the Mushroom Kingdom. But no, I think Chris Pratt really brings a new interpretation of Mario, because Charles Martinet, the original voice of Mario in terms of the games, he is in this movie. He plays some background characters here and there, and yeah, and it's kind of nice to see Chris Pratt bring his own interpretation of Mario, instead of trying to copy Charles Martinet, who's well known for playing as Mario. So if you go back and play any of the original games, or any of the more recent ones, you can clearly tell that when the Charles Martinet Mario and the Chris Pratt Mario are two separate guys, and it's kind of cool to see that. And also, I will say that the standout character, or standout actor in this movie, is Jack Black. I think during this movie, I can hardly tell that he's Jack Black. You can hear him sometimes, like because like in the movie, he's got this like very deep, gruff voice to him. But there are also moments where you will hear Jack Black's voice. But apart from that, you can't really tell him that it's him a lot of the time. And I think that's mainly because due to some of the first trailers that we saw for the film, um, where we got to see Bowser at the foreground, and yeah, I think it does. I think Bowser is probably one of the standout characters just because he's voiced by Jack Black, and I think he's just that menacing of a character, and he's a really interesting character for the most times that you see him. And the only minor thing that I have about or the small criticism that I do have for the movie is that it moves on from the scene to scene quite quickly, in the sense that there's like as soon as there's some of the characters are in one scene, they'll just go to the next scene, and then they'll go to another location, and then move on to that from that location, and it kind of does that throughout the whole movie, and then the movie's over. And to me, I feel like that. I feel like that. I wish there was at least one scene, to just slow down for a bit, for like let's say 5 minutes, just so the movie can catch its breath. And I know it's based on a video game, and video games aren't a lot of video games, especially the Mario games, aren't meant to be slow, or in the sense that they weren't meant to have these big complex moments, or just have a time to just slow down for a bit. But I wish that I wish there was at least one scene, not multiple scenes, just one scene where everything would just slow down for a bit and just help everyone just catch their breath, because this movie it feels like a roller coaster, and it will keep on going, and I think it does help, but there are some scenes where it kind of feels like it's going somewhere, but then after like a minute and a half, it just cuts to another character and how they're doing and stuff like that. So I kind of wish that kind of happened, and I feel like, and because of how cool and interesting this movie is, it's really successful. From the last time I heard, it's on its way to becoming of getting $1 billion or something like that at the box office. And yeah, I can kind of see why, because this movie is really fun. It's jam packed with references. It's got it's got a really interesting plot. It's got room in there for a sequel, and yeah, I think another reason why is because of how it's made, because it's all animated, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's so successful, because it's animated. And I don't think you could have gone away with it for something like The Last of Us TV show, because the way I see it, I think the reason why both the Mario movie and The Last of Us TV show were both successful for the way they were was because of the way they were made. So with the Mario movie is all animated. It's an hour and a half movie. It's not that complex, and you can easily watch the movie even if you haven't played a Mario game. And with The Last of Us TV show, I think the reason why that works is because it's all in live action, and in terms of how it's filmed, how each of the characters move, how they interact with each other, and also the fact that it's episodic, and that means you can add a bit more stuff to it, or have some characters interact with each other in ways that you might not be able to do in animation, and vice versa. You might not be able to do some of the stuff if the Mario movie was a live action movie. And yeah, I think with the Mario movie, it just works because everything is animated, and that makes the movie kind of fit together really well. Because I do like a lot of the things that appear in this movie, like the power-ups. There's a variety of power-ups that are greatly used, and because you've got some of the traditional power ups like the mushroom and the fire flower, and then you've got some ones in throughout some of the other games that are in this movie. But if with probably if there's going to be a sequel, I would like to see there being more power ups. Maybe something like the Mega Mushroom, or the Boomerang Flower, or the Cloud Flower, or any of the other power ups that we have seen throughout the other Mario games. And yeah, I would say overall, the Mario movie is an interesting, fun movie. It's just an hour and a half of just Mario, and it feels like a game. It feels like it should be its own game, but it's not. And I think that what makes it great, because it feels like you're going on an adventure with Mario, with Toad, with Peach, with Luigi, and with whoever, and it generally really works. And I think because it takes things from all the different Mario games, even games like Mario Kart, it works really well. So yeah, I'd say if you haven't watched it yet, I highly suggest you go watch this movie. So that's been my review for the Mario Bros movie. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.